This story went viral yesterday. A teacher in Connecticut was not happy that Trump won the election, so this is how she responded in a video that I think they said she thought she was sending it to a Snapchat group, but it ended up going viral.
Do you know what grade does she teach? Is this a public school?
K through 12.
K through 12, and it's a public school?
Yeah, Cheshire, Connecticut.
So your tax dollars are paying to employ this person?
Yes,
cool.
Correct.
Oh, she's flying an airplane. Oh, you guys can't hear that.
And people of color and poor people and gay people and all the people that I care about aren't going to be safe in America. Neither the fuck are you guys. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the fuck you voted for. You're not in the clear. And just please don't test your gangster on me, because
test your gangster.
You will end on a stretcher. Gone.
What
forever.
I'm quaking in my boots.
So serious. Nobody fucking talk to me unless you want to swing. If you want to fight, text me, call me, whatever. Anybody else, stay the fuck out of my face. And if you voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and I can handle you how I see fit. Please just come forward. We fucking know. Just tell me or leave. Please. The door.
It's amazing.
For somebody like that's teaching kids that speak that type of vocabulary.
What was her excuse as to how that got sent? Because the people that she's talking to is clearly the world. So what did she say? I sent that to friends?
She was trying to send it to a Snapchat group or something of friends. Yeah.
Amazing. She had time in her busy schedule of
and
probably
friends.
molesting her students to.
Well,
make that
I think
video.
it was probably a cover, and the parents were pissed about it. And at first, they only put her on administrative leave, but then there's enough blowback for her to actually have to resign. And she didn't get fired; she had the choice to resign. So,
do you have any videos of people bringing up white, uneducated women by any chance? If not, I'd like to bring up that point right now. Do you have any videos?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
She's quite clearly one of the degrees of
yes,
that.
That's uneducated.
I mean, that's what, and those are the people that should be deciding what happens with America, not the people lacking a college diploma.
My wife is now a Trump voter. She never was, but this was the first time that she voted. She voted. Unfortunately, Palm Beach County still went blue, which I don't understand. But okay, fine.
I can tell you why.
But she actually took offense, and she was like, it really bothers me that they're saying that because I voted for Donald Trump, I'm an uneducated white woman.
Yeah.
And I wondered if I said the same thing. I get on here and I look at the camera and I go, hey, if you're a black woman that voted for Barack Obama, you're an uneducated black. How quickly do I get canceled for making that same statement?
Yeah, it'd be quite different. So, I mean, they not only said that, they said the narratives that uneducated white women voted for Trump, racist Hispanics voted for Trump, and misogynist black men voted for Trump.
So if you
that's a powerful coalition right there.
But then if I'm a white guy, which I am, I identify as it. I'm a male.
Enemy number one.
I am. I'm Hitler and Satan and all those things. But if I make that same statement, it's considered racist. If I were to say the black women that voted for Barack Obama, or even black women that were supporting Kamala Harris, are uneducated, I am a hateful, racist bigot. But then that bald weirdo Joy Reid can get on TV and say white women who voted for Trump are uneducated, and the president can even call them garbage. That's supposed to be totally normalized, but it's racist and wrong when I do it. They are saviors of democracy when they do it.
Well,
yeah,
you've seen
they claim only white people could be racist, but Joy Reid's the most racist person on TV.
They bring up race all the time.
Yeah.
When do I ever bring up race? Maybe once in a while when I'm in traffic and I'm angry, I'm going, Asians can't drive. Yeah, I'll say it. Some of them have a hard time.
Yep.
So do women. There's also men that suck at driving. So the only time that race ever plays a factor in my life is when I'm driving and someone cuts me off and I go, is that an Asian woman? I'm going to go see. But they always bring up race. They always harp on race. They always make it about race. But when you make every single thing racist, does that not then make nothing racist?
Yeah, waters
because
it down.
everything that's going on is in effect racist.
Exactly. And, this is two things. So one of them is that they've gotten to the point where they feel like they could say whatever they want because they got so used to being this, hysterical and crazy, and, people that are liberals feel
Which
that
is
way.
their right. Fine. Get on there and say that. That's okay. I have no problem with you saying that.
That's what this woman did, though.
I have a problem with the double double standard that, okay, you have the right to say it, and I applaud that. Freedom of speech, fine. If you want to get in front of a camera and sound like a retard, then go ahead. I do it twice a week right on here. I got no problem doing it.
You've seen...
let that double standard not exist. It should not be, I can say this, I can do this, I can project this on you, but when you say it back, well, you got to be deplatformed, you got to be demonetized.
Right.
That guy shouldn't have the right to say that, but we have the right to say
Well,
that.
you all saw the tweet from Ali _Samarco, who is DC 27, pragmatic Democrat, former Republican, not aspiring to be humble, tweeted out, and I'm quoting, white men without college degrees are going to ruin this country. Fill in the blank of white men for any other race, religion, ethnicity, creed, sexual orientation. The Jews without whatever are going to ruin this country. Blacks are going to ruin this country. Cancellation. Whether or not you think you should, you would. But you say white men, and it's acceptable because apparently the only group that you can actively, vocally discriminate against are white, Christian, straight men.
What the hell is that all about?
The map breakdown of what it would look like if only women with college degrees voted and like the entire country is blue. And it's like, that's the strongest case for not letting women be involved in higher education.
Say, how about only people married with kids voted? I bet the whole thing would be red.
Well, or people who served in the military. Only military get to vote.
Yeah.
The issue is, the joking about the women issue is one thing, but it does show what a cesspool of indoctrination universities are. Yep. It's good. That doesn't show that what should be happening. That shows that that's what is happening. Universities are centers for indoctrination.
Universities are majority women now, where more women go to college than men.
Yeah, it's almost 60-40.
It's like 60-40 at this point. So women have the advantage, and somehow that still didn't work out in their favor.
I'm one of those people that graduated from a liberal arts college. It was the Richard Stockton University of New Jersey in a democratic state. I came out and I was like, I love everybody. I want everybody to have health care. Yeah, that's right, Obama. Let's do it. And here I am 20 years later going, idiot. Stupid. Look at what you did. Now you got to try and undo the damage that you did because of the indoctrination that happened, not just because of the college, but it's also because of the environment and because of the media. You got to think, when you're living in an echo chamber, like a lot of liberals that go to college are, and then what do? They only consume more echo chamber by watching it on TV. And then guess who they surround themselves in their communities? More people that facilitate that echo chamber, and that's how you become a crazed liberal who voted for Barack Obama twice, John Kerry once, abstained from Hillary Clinton in 2016, voted for Biden in 2020, and then cast for the very first time in my adult life a Republican vote for president with Donald Trump in 2024.
Congratulations. And they're having mental breakdowns because they're part of the society or generation that didn't know how to lose, that they weren't allowed to lose as kids. And
because everyone's a winner.
Right. But you're a loser now.
Go show the losers.
Yeah, all right, so next clip. This is her trying to spin the narrative on Fox News and explain herself.
This is her that we're looking at?
Local connected.
Well, she looks a little different in composure now.
This is funny.
Voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and then I can handle you how I see fit. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the blank you voted for. You're not in the clear. Please don't test your gangster on me because you will end on a stretcher gone forever. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so
it sounds like a threat.
It sounds very extreme. And again, I was in a moment of high emotions and I shouldn't have ever posted the video. But the message I was trying to get across, and it came off very wrong, was, if this is going to give people the almost permission in their minds to enact violence against women or anybody, I wanted to basically just say, I'm not going to go down without a fight. I mean, it's my life's dream to be a teacher. I consider those kids my kids because
take your kids away, baby. That's
and they feel that for me, and it's so fulfilling. It's so rewarding, and I know that what people see right now, I don't look like that person, but I truly would do anything to help any child and any family in need.
Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the you voted for. You're not in the clear. And just please,
the problem
is,
I
don't
feel
test
bad
your gangster on me, because
I think you see her. I feel bad for her. I look in her eyes and I do see someone who is taking some sort of SSRI antidepressant or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel bad for her, but Roseanne Barr had her life ruined over a stupid tweet joke, and this lady's out there threatening violence, and in her own mind, she's justified her own threats of violence because she thinks that she's under some sort of existential threat just for existing as a woman because she's been brainwashed, and she's teaching kids.
Not only did they... Oh, and Humberto, you had something to say. I want to go to you. But not only did they take away or discredit Roseanne, they took away the show that she wrote, created, starred in. That was like, imagine how difficult it is. Because in the 80s, when you were a comedian, the big thing everybody wanted, you got into comedy because you wanted a TV deal. Things have now switched. It's you get into comedy because you want to have a successful podcast and hope the podcast feeds the comedy. Yeah. But she created that show. She was the head writer of that show. She was the executive producer of that show. And then they remove her from the show for a tweet that, while it was probably in poor taste, it could be taken out of context. She didn't mean it in a racial sense. I don't believe. The woman actually looked like the thing from the Planet of the Apes. So they had the same facial structure. And maybe I'm racist, and I'm sorry if I am. But they looked exactly alike. So I look at that, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of see how she can make that leap. Would I tweet that? Probably not. Now, do I say it on a podcast? Like a fucking idiot, I did it.
No, but Rob, you saw her follow-up tweet, which says, I thought the bitch was Jewish. First of all, so she, and I don't want to throw
double down.
I don't want to throw my mother under the bus, but my mother, we always made the joke that my mom kind of looked like, when she had her hair doing that way, she looked like Cornelius from Planet of the Apes. And I was like, I won't get accused of racism because my mom's an old Jewish lady. But when Roseanne tweeted that, I was like, yeah, I didn't know the woman was black either. I also thought she was Jewish and made no racial connection to the tweet. But the bottom line, double standard, we all know of it.
What I'm gonna say, like, I feel bad for this woman because she is a victim. She's a victim of cultural Marxism. She's part of a death cult. That's what this is. It's a death cult. If she was well-adjusted and had a loving husband and kids, and because the thing is, after World War I, World War II, when we moved women to factories, all right, because you know, if you read Marx, you know, the abolition of the nuclear family is what it was one of the main aims of communism, all right? So this woman is talking against her interest, all right, in a very violent way. And you're not gonna fool me. Like, this woman is just a symptom of what we're doing. These people have they have an enemy, and they declared who their enemy is, all right? And I'm saying this as a Latino guy. Maybe if you see me at 7-Eleven, you know, like I'm pretty white passing, I guess. But
until you start talking.
What? Until I start talking, all right? But this is the war that fired the flames of why Donald Trump is president. Like, if you saw the Kamala campaign, they had to do the sad thing about, what was it, white dudes for Kamala?
Yeah.
All right? So they've been shitting on white men for what, 40 years, 30 years?
30 years, easy.
Yeah. And it's part of communism.
About my lifetime.
That's what they want to do. Like, if you see the Russian Revolution, you know, if you see what happened in World War II, if you see, like, they're out for them. I'm so glad I'm not part of them. But the rhetoric, you're listening every single day, like, they're evil, they're ignorant.
Well, they've been conditioned to feel they can say whatever they want.
So I can get why she's offering, like, literally a teacher. Come on, who's gonna square up with a teacher?
Well, I'll tell you where
they think they can say whatever they want, though.
Each other. Go ahead.
Like, that side has been conditioned to think they can say whatever they want because they haven't gotten in trouble for it over the last 4 years. So she's like took a step farther by threatening people's lives. So she crossed the line, thinking that she could get away with saying whatever she wants to say.
But Humberto brought up, did you say the word brainwash?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a part of this where I agree with you. I feel bad for this woman. She has clearly been brainwashed into thinking Donald Trump is evil. He's Hitler. He's going to take away your uterus. He's going to throw Mexicans into cages. They believe the narrative. I was one of those people that believe the narrative. I'm also not a teacher. So there's a portion of this while I feel bad about what she's been through and what has happened to her brain, I don't believe that if you're in that type of mental state, you should be around children. There's a reason why I'm not a teacher. Because the second a kid would act up, I'd go, what the fuck is wrong with you? That is how I would act. So there's got to be a temperament.
It's way deeper than that. And brainwashing is actually, you know, like making it less of a problem. This is going on since the Cold War. All right. All the efforts that the KGB and Russia, I mean the USSR, they put in 15% of their budget was asserted for espionage and all the cool things. The rest of the stuff was propaganda, and this is called demoralization, all right? It's destroying a society from the inside, all right? You were victim to it. Brandon was victim to it. Like, all my family is right-wing since the beginning of time, all right? So, like, I always saw through this thing.
Well, you are a German-descended person from South America, so they're very far right-wing at one point.
But I'm saying right here that we need to address this problem, all right? Because this is gonna get violent eventually. Because if she wasn't a teacher, like a woman teacher saying this, if this was a guy that actually had access to guns, and she gets invited to Fox News, what are we talking about? What do you say about Roseanne Barr? Like, it destroyed her career, and she gets invited to keep on talking on live of national TV. Like the thing is so unfair for both sides. Like, we can't keep on treating people like this.
Well, because one side destabilizes and one side is strengthening the society. And like the way you're talking about, their biggest goal is to demoralize the society. The side that they don't like is the side that strengthens the society, and the side that's crazy destabilizes it.
Look at who this person is, though. Like, look at this woman we are talking about. It is a woman. She is not particularly strong or well built. She is small. Like, she's talking, oh, step to me. You're leaving on a stretcher. Like hell I am.
Right. Do you think she even knows how to fire a gun?
Does she? But she's not even talking about firing guns. She's like, oh, yeah, bare knuckle brawl. I'll put you on a stretcher.
She started the whole thing.
Yeah.
The violence that they can use their position to promote violence.
Good
exactly.
point.
So this tiny little woman who is a public school teacher could not hurt any adult male Trump supporter, even if she tried hard. If she came at you with a knife, you still have a better chance of ending her
Maybe
than she
the
does of
gays
you.
from Trump.
Maybe.
Some of those are true.
But you know who she does have the ability to abuse and put her power over?
Children.
And
Her
decimate her children.
Oh, darn it.
The children in her classroom. Because there is a certain phenomenon with women like that, women like Gwen Walls, Tampon Tim's wife.
Turn the page.
who you can tell within 30 seconds of looking at them, this is a person who is biologically inclined to only have authority over children. And there are people like this who go into education specifically for, hey, I'm weak and ineffectual in every other context. Let me lord my power over children so I feel like I'm dominant.
And you heard what she said. She said it there. She said, I think of them as my own.
They're my own kids. That's the problem. You can take responsibility for your kids as a teacher. You can love them.
You know,
they're not yours.
I once had an Ontario teacher on my channel who is kind of an activist female as well. And like, you know, she's saying, they're not your children because I get to talk about things with my children that you as a teacher do not ever get to talk about with my children. Politics would be one, but, you know, sex issues would be another. She's crazy. The bottom line is I feel bad for her. I'm inclined to forgive her, but I'm also inclined to say, I'm sorry, you're unable to do what you want to do because of look, if you have PTSD, you might not want to be a cop. And if you get traumatized, you might have to say, okay, I'm not going to be fit for this function anymore. I physically can't hold a gun without shaking. She's clearly unfit to do what she's doing. I feel bad for her. She's going to suffer some serious consequences. Yeah. Find another more appropriate job.
My dream is to be a teacher. All dreams got to end sometimes.
You thought that was crazy. Listen to this guy. This is the day after Trump won.
Reaction to the presidential election, specifically to one of his students wearing a Trump hat the day after the election.
Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez is live with that story now. Christina?
Yeah, and it's interesting because even the parents who reached out to us about this were telling me that this is a very popular teacher, has been here for a long time. As far as anyone knows, has never had an issue like this until students in a class got this in their cell phones. Listen.
I'm pissed. People voted for freaking rapists and pissed off.
Brainwash?
It's the voice of a Chino High teacher reacting to a student walking into his class wearing a Trump hat the day after the election.
Turn it off and go back to your freaking seat now. Go. Take the. Can you send security up? That boy who has a Trump hat on, and I'm not going to tolerate it today. Bye-bye.
Unfortunately, this video is real.
The president of the School Board of Education, which Chino High is part of, says they are looking into this.
send security up because he's wearing a hat.
Brandon, this is not funny. Like, this is not funny at all. This is by design. We're talking about in the 1940s, they broke up the teachers' union because it was infiltrated by communists. You read Antonio Gramsci.
It has again.
Because after the Russians, the Russian communists killed more people than anyone else during World War II. Let's have that on the record. They killed more people than anyone else. Like a rough estimate is 66 million people. So when you're sitting at the table in Europe and you said you were a communist, it wasn't cool to be a communist.
It's worse to be than being a Nazi.
So this Gramsci guy goes like, okay, we won't be able to do it on the open. We're gonna infiltrate education, and all these teachers are infiltrated, and they are poisoning our youth. All right.
That's what we have to abolish.
And that's what pisses me off, that nobody in the Trump administration is talking about the importance of education. We have a giga chat that is going to fix health. They're going to fix the government spending.
Well, no, Trump has it as one of the plans to dismantle the Department of Education.
We need to
I love, though, that it actually occurred at Chino University, Chino High School.
We need to dismantle the unions. We need to defund all federal funding for universities.
100%.
You see the terrorists that came out during the Palestine-Israel thing. You had people burning the American flags on campus. All right, what are we talking about? Those are training grounds for domestic terrorists.
We won't put up with that anymore, though. He's not going to put up with that. He said he's going to tax fine the college endowments, which is the nucleus of college power. Like, their endowments worth like 75% of their income. So he's going to attack that. He's going to attack the Department of Education, like, $300 billion a year.
It's so sad that things have to get out of hand. Like, I respect everyone's beliefs, everyone's race, and everything. Like, but to have Jewish students be scared to go to class, out of like physical violence and people burning things down, that is not acceptable in America.
Well,
That's not acceptable.
Maybe if Israel wasn't committing a genocide, I'm just kidding.
But it's
that's the argument. And most of these people don't know what Gaza is, the history behind Palestine.
Even if it is, like, it's not the fault of the Jewish student that wants to go to his biology.
Well, I there's a part of me that says, like, this is, you reap what you sow. When the Jewish students were complaining about these violent acts and protests and harassment when it was there, but yet a lot of organizations were tolerating it back in the Summer of Love 2020 as though that monster could never turn on them. So there's a little bit of reaping what you sow involved in that. But you're 100% right. I mean, it's indoctrination. It was Solzhenitsyn, or the guy who gave the speech. Yuri Bezmenov. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, so everybody knows about the tactic now. And you're right. Feel bad for the guy. But it's kind of freaking funny that this teacher is so scared of a hat he's calling security because he can't stand politically different views in his classroom. That guy it's unfortunate. He's broken and he cannot be in a position
victims
to teach.
of brainwashing, for sure. I'm all on board with
demoralization.
But the thing is,
using brainwashing because it's demoralization.
You only feel bad for victims as long as they stay victims. When they become victimizers, they no longer deserve your sympathy and now need to be held accountable.
This is true.
You feel bad for someone who's molested as a child, but if they grow up to be a child molester, that sympathy ends, and now it is time for consequences. Same thing with these people. Not your fault you were brainwashed. You chose to act out and threaten people and cause problems. I don't have sympathy for you anymore. This is now an issue with you.
On the positive side, though, teachers think that they could tell their students what to think and that's just going to happen. But I think the more natural response for a child is to rebel against what adults are telling them to do. It's at least 50-50 to say the least, but I think more than not will go against what's being strongly pushed on them. And it seems like that's happening. Like, there's more and more young kids who are in favor of Trump, who are rejecting all this woke stuff, especially in colleges.
No, I mean, up in Canada, when now I'm going to forget the name of the kid, but you get kicked out of school for saying there are only two sexes.
Yeah.
And other girls are like, what? I mean, this is how you get the pendulum swinging back.
Right.
And yeah, it has to get bad enough. And it finally looks like it got bad enough, because it wasn't bad enough in 2020 when people didn't see what didn't get stolen by way of an election. And it got bad enough now when you have an open border, a fentanyl crisis, people telling you that there's no advantage to having boys in girls sports. Yeah, it's bad enough. And the pendulum's swinging back, and we're seeing it in real time. There's going to be more and more meltdowns like this.
And I'm so glad. I think the dignity of being born a human being is enough for everyone, regardless of the race, color, gender, whatever, to be treated with respect and not be harassed by teachers, by the police, by our justice system. Like, this is crazy talk in a free country. It's crazy talk.
Yeah, so I think we're heading to a much better place with this because, like you said, the pendulum's swinging. It got bad enough to the point where it has to get a little bit painful. You know, change comes when being the same gets too painful. So,
well said. And by the way, your arm's looking massive. Sorry, that was a weird thing, but I'm looking over as he's making his point. I'm like,
you.
Wait, Jesus Christ, is all you do Bicep curls, curls get the girls.
Yeah, hey, there you go.
Guys
Your
get the guys.
arms are almost as veiny as Vinny's now. I'm noticing.
I just don't wear short sleeve shirts
Well
like
done.
it's the AC's all.
Sorry,
out
this
of control
turned
here.
into weird. Let's
Bicep
admire how
hour.
muscular
Hey, everybody,
Brandon
let's
is.
look at his arms.
Let's get to something more normal.
Ladies,
as we switch
you
topics.
can find me on social media.
What do you call them? Baddies.
Broads.
Oh, okay, broads. All right. Let's,
Well, I hear that teacher is looking for a nice man to guide her through life.
would you?
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.